Okay, so you guys, we're going to continue with factoring, but we're going to factor and we're going to solve. So it's basically, you guys, there's two things that usually it's just going to say solve the equation, but you need to know how you know the difference between when you need to factor or not. You guys, anytime you see an exponent on the x, it means you're going to have to do some type of factoring, okay? So you know you're going to need to factor because it has an x squared. The next thing is when you notice there's an x squared term, or you guys, just a squared term, right? There's just something with an exponent on it, then you know it needs to equal 0. So what do we need to move over so this equals 0? I need this equation to equal 0. So what do I need to move? I need to move the x. The reason I need to move the x is because I need it to be 0. And every factoring problem we've done has an ax squared plus bx plus c. So we need to equal 0. So again, what did I do? I moved the negative x to the left-hand side. It was negative on this side, so when I move it to the other side, it becomes positive. Now I'm going to list my a. What is my a? It's 12. My b is 1. My c is negative 1. I'm going to do a times c, which is 12 times negative 1. I get negative 12. Now, c is negative, b is positive. That means I need a positive and a negative. So 1 and negative 12, negative 1 and positive 12. I need 2 and negative 6, negative 2 and positive 6. I need 3 and negative 4 and negative 3 and positive 4. Again, why is one negative and why is one positive? Because c is negative. Okay. Again, c was negative, since c was negative, I need one positive, one negative. And because I'm not sure which one yet, so now I need the one that adds up to b. Which one adds up to b? So I'm looking for the answer that gives me positive 1. Which one? So 1 plus negative 12, that gives me negative 11. Negative 1 plus 12 gives me positive 11. 2 plus negative 6 gives me negative 4. Negative 2 plus 6 gives me positive 4. 3 plus negative 4 gives me negative 1. Negative 3 plus 4 gives me positive 1. Okay, so I'm going to do the box method. If you like the parenthesis method, you guys can do that. The first term always goes in this box. The last term always goes in this box. So the 12x squared is the first term, negative 1 is the last term. These two are going to go here. Okay, and if you are doing the parenthesis way, you would have done 12x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 1. And then you would have grouped 12x squared minus 3x, and you would have grouped 4x minus 1. I'm just showing you that there's two ways to do it, and you pick the method that you like better. We're going to go this way. So you always start. Does 3 go into 12? Do they have a variable in common? Does 1 go into 4? Yes. Okay, now we're going to do this way, up and down. But you always start with the smallest number. Does 4 go into 12? Do they have a variable in common? Since this number right here is negative, I'm going to put a negative. Does 1 and 3 have anything in common? So they're going to have a 1. Over here, you would have noticed that 3 went into 12, so you would have pulled out a 3. They both have an x. So this is 4x minus 1. This would have been positive 1, and then 4x minus 1. You knew you did it right because these two match. And then you're left with 3x plus 1 times 4x minus 1, which is the same thing that I got down here. And now, if it just said factor, if your directions just said factor, you would be done. But it has an equals 0. So what do we do when it has equals 0? Set each one equal to 0. This is about the longest problem that you will get in Algebra 1.